This video is titled How to Get a Woman. The only people that I'm concerned with are men, and being very specific, heterosexual men. Anybody else? This video is not for you. You may leave. Every word that I speak is carefully considered. I do not speak just to hear myself talk. So, let us begin. How to get the woman. Not how to get a woman, how to get the woman. And this means that you are trying to get a woman that is worthy of you, worthy of your time, worthy of your attention. You need to think that your time is precious. Your attention is precious. I want you to believe in your heart of hearts that every second of attention that you give to anyone is worth £1,000,000 of gold. Now, if you truly believe that, you would not be giving your attention to people who do not give you £100 of gold and value in return. Am I right? Do you understand? So when I say, this is how you get the woman, I am talking about the woman that is worth giving your attention to. The number is 7. It is a holy number, and here are the things. Number 1, be clean. Number 2, be in good shape. Number 3, be willing to delay gratification. That is more along the lines of understanding how to invest your time and wait for a return on your investment. That means you invest in getting a textbook on how to be an auto mechanic. You have made an investment of buying the book. You make an investment of reading the book, of spending the time to read the book. And the return on the investment of both the cost of the book and the time that you spent reading the book should be that the end result is that you now have a skill that you can go out and use to actually make money. And it will then give you money over and over and over and over because now you have that skill. That example is to prove your willingness to delay gratification. That means that you don't think that you can wake up, put your feet on the floor, and suddenly $10,000 appears out of the sky. If you are a sane heterosexual man, you understand full well that that's not how life works. But if you buy a book on how to be an auto mechanic, You spend the time reading it. You then develop the skill, and the skill is going to pay you. You have delayed gratification. Number 4, be healthy. I already said be in good shape, but number 4 is be healthy. That means you have healthy habits. I don't drink at all, but I would say to you, don't drink. Anytime that you go to a place where they serve alcohol, you only have 1 beer, 1 glass of wine. Why? Because you need to be in control of yourself at any and all times. I used to run a DUI website, so I know all about the laws of DUI in the state of Nevada. And I used to write a blog every day talking about DUI, the DUI laws, and what have you. I'm not an attorney, I'm a third-year law school student, but I thought it would be a good way to make some money by having a DUI website. That means be healthy in how you consume alcohol. 1 beer, 1 glass of water. No, you don't go out and get plastered and drink 50 drinks with your friends. We are talking about how to get the woman. That means that you are a catch. Being a catch means that you are above the rest. You are not, in fact, quote unquote, like other guys. You have 1 beer or 1 glass of wine. Number 5, be productive. Productive means that you have bought your book on how to be an auto mechanic. You spent the time reading the book on how to be an auto mechanic, and boom, you are now an auto mechanic, and you then fix cars either through some company or you do it for anybody who wants to bring their car to you, and you are productive. You are doing mechanical things all day long, and you are making money at it. Number 6, be generous. And when I say be generous, I do not mean that you give money to the girl. Those days are gone. Let me educate you into what time we are in. We are in 2023. We are not in 1823. In 1823, the father of the girl was generous with his money and provided for the girl. It was never the tradition that the guy provide for the girl who is not his wife. And I do mean wife, already married. At no point did the young man reach into his pocket and produce money and give it to the girl. Those days are over. The days of the father providing for the girl are over. Now she has to pick up her own tab. If any woman tells you that it is you who have to pick up the tab for her, she is not the girl. Let me disavow you of the confusion that the modern women who you are not supposed to be talking to have tried to circle back to a time period that never existed. Do you know who the women were that the man reached into his pocket to pay for. Do I even need to say it? That type of woman was the only woman that a man reached into his pocket to pay for. It was never the tradition that the man reached into his pocket to pay for a potential wife. That was never a thing. Do you know what else wasn't a thing? The way people got married. There was a huge divide between the haves and the have-not. The have-nots. The modern woman is trying to get you to act like the haves. What did the haves do? The haves threw elaborate weddings. The haves threw baby showers. The haves threw parties leading up to the wedding. That's what the haves did. Do you know what the poor people did? The poor people did not have courting. Courting, meaning I go to the girl's house, speak to her father, and say, I would like to court your daughter. Poor people didn't do that. Poor people went to the father's house and say, I'm looking for a wife. And the father would say, I have a gal for you. Here she is. Thank you very much for taking her off of my hands, because I'm paying for her all this time. Let's go back to the haves. What did the haves do? I go to the father's house and I said I would like to court the young lady Jessica. Okay. I will call on her on Thursday. Okay. It could be the entire family is sitting in the room. It could be the mother is sitting in the room. It could be the maid is sitting in the room. Somebody is sitting in the room when I show up on Thursday, and the girl is sitting in the room. And we talk. And maybe I bring flowers. Why am I bringing flowers? To prove to her father that I can afford flowers. But here's the deal. The maid puts flowers all over the house each and every day. The flowers were not special that I brought. The flowers were not something that rendered me almost broke for the day. The flowers were to prove to the father that I could afford a wife. Who has more money, me or her father? Her father has more money. Always. And for the most part, my father is also paying for everything that I do. But I have to prove that I can support the woman, the girl, myself, because I'm going to move out to myself. I may or may not move move her into my family's home. That might be the deal. That might not be the deal. But I should be able to support her myself. But that is only after I have proven to the father that I can do that. He is paying for the entire ordeal. We don't go out on dates. That is not courting. We go out walking with the maid, with the mother, with the family, walking behind us. We talk. After all of that's over, I go home and the father turns to the girl and say, "What do you think of him?" And the girl says, "I like him." Then the father turns to his wife and say, "What do you know about him and his family?" And the wife says, "Okay, here's the scoop on him and his family." And then there's a wedding in a few weeks. And the father has to pay for all of it. The modern women are trying to bamboozle guys into being like the bourgeoisie, to being like the aristocrats. Most of the modern women are poor. Most of the men that she is going for are poor. Some are trying to skip ahead and be a member of the bourgeoisie or the aristocrats. But a lot of women who say they want to be a part of the bourgeoisie or the aristocrats don't understand that to be a part of that, meaning to date a rich guy, first of all, he has to be approximately 40 to 50 years old. He has his own lifestyle. And she is just a plaything. She's not going to get married to him. Not unless she is just the be-all, end-all of women. So, when I say generous, I mean that you are generous to other people. You are not generous to her. You are the catch. You are a good catch. These are qualities that she should notice about you. This is not stuff that she should get from you. Meaning you are generous. You donate to charity. You donate your time. You are a giving person. And that does not mean money. And it does not mean giving money to her. The act of a man giving money to a woman that he is not married to is seen in polite society as something that is very embarrassing, very distasteful. Modern women are confused as to what role the man and the woman should play today. A lot of news articles and media articles are confusing everything and mixing everything up completely. And finally, number 7 is you should be an honest person. That means that you're not a criminal. That means that you do the right thing with your finances in business. That means that you're not stepping on people's neck to get ahead, to move up the ladder. That means that you're a good and decent human being. This means that you are a catch. You are an eligible bachelor. And these are things that she should notice about you. And she should be drawn to you. Just like heat is drawn to something freezing, she should be drawn to you. You do know the chemical process of heat exchange between setting a glass of ice water on a kitchen counter and condensation forms on the outside of the glass. There is a heat exchange. The heat is drawn to that glass of ice water. She should be drawn to you. You are an honest person. You are a good and decent human being. Those are the 7 qualities. Clean, good shape, willing to delay gratification, healthy, productive, generous to other people, and honest in the way you conduct yourself as a man. Thank you all for listening.